welcome back to Makeup Collection and Declutter Week 2020. Day number 2. So today's video is going to be all about cheek products. I'm going to be showing you my blush, bronzer, and highlight collection, as well as my face palettes. We're going to do a whole bunch of swatching. It's going to be fantastic. And yeah, I already know this video is going to be pretty long, so I'm going to keep my intro nice and short and sweet. If you missed yesterday's video and you have no idea what's going on, I will link it for you up here in the card so you can check it out. I will also link my declutter playlist for you guys in the description box of this video if you want to watch all of the decluttering videos I've ever done on my channel. On that note, we have lots and lots of makeup to go through, so let's jump into things. Look at this. How good am I? I have 8 bronzers in my collection. That's it. 8. And the most recent was gifted to me, which is Benefit Hoola, which is a bronzer that I have had previously in the past, but it's been a few years, so I'm excited to have it in my collection again. And I just feel like this is super reasonable. I'm not going to declutter any of these bronzers because honestly, I really like all of them and I don't feel like I have an insane number to choose from. Now, I'm not going to swatch these because honestly, every time I try to swatch bronzers, I feel like it never turns out right. For whatever reason, on my skin tone, you can't see them as well, even though they show up perfectly fine on my face. So I'll just give you a quick rundown of what I've got here. I have my Benefit Hoola Quickie Contour Stick. It's my one cream bronzer, and I actually really like this a lot. This one is really, really nice texture-wise. It just like melts into your skin. And I find the undertone is perfectly fine on me. It is a little bit more on the warm side, so if you tend to lean cool, I think this one might make you look like an Oompa Loompa. But if you are more on the like light medium end of the spectrum and you have more yellow undertones, I think it's a beautiful shade. I have the Milani Silky Matte Bronzer in the shade 02 Sunkissed. This one is a little more neutral, cool toned. It's gorgeous for contouring. Builds up beautifully, blends out beautifully, a really, really nice, affordable option from the drugstore. Benefit Hoola, a classic that I'm happy to have my hands on again. This is the Makeup Forever Artist Face Color in the shade S112. This is a gorgeous contouring powder. I love this. If you have a light medium complexion, this is a beautiful powder. It's just like so natural looking on the skin, so foolproof. Definitely something that I never hear anybody talk about, but is bomb. The OG Butter Bronzer, although this is in the deep bronzer shade. Honestly, I think I like the original better, the original bronzer shade, but this one is okay. It's a little bit darker. I just wanted to see what the difference was, and I feel like this one's just a teeny bit less smooth than the original in the way that it blends out on me because it has a little bit more pigmentation, but it's still really nice, and it smells like a tropical paradise. The Maybelline City Bronzer, so good. This deserves so much more hype. I did see Kathleen Lights mention this in her like Best of Beauty 2019, and that made me really happy because I never hear any of the big YouTubers talk about this, and it is beautiful. I have the shade 200 and I absolutely love it. It has a slight bit of a sheen to it, so it never really looks like chalky or flat on the skin, but it just blends out so nicely. The undertone is perfect. I love it. The Balm Bahama Mama, another classic. This one is a bit deeper. I tend to wear this more in the summer when I have a tan, just because in the winter time it's a little bit much for me, but it is another gorgeous product. And then this guy, I don't think you can get anymore. This is from Kiko. This was a summer product. It's their Ocean Feel Bronzer in the shade Warm Honey. This is summertime in a compact. It just gives you that gorgeous bronzy look. It has a slight sheen to it. It's not flat. It's lovely. And it smells like vanilla, which is always fun. This, however, is where things are going to get a little bit more difficult. So this is my blush collection. I've got several more blush options than I have bronzer options. However, I feel like compared to previous years, this isn't so bad. How many are actually here? If I'm counting correctly, I think I count 22 blushes here, which is still a lot, but I feel like in previous years I may have had more. I might just be insane. Either way, we're definitely not keeping all of this because I know I'm not using it all, I'm not loving it all, and I really just want to just pare things down a little bit. A couple I know are not going anywhere are these two Buttes right here. This is the M Cosmetics Color Drop Serum Blush, and this is the ColourPop Blush Sticks in the shade Hen Party. I've been using these obsessively lately. They are gorgeous. This is a liquid blush, this is a cream stick, and they're both just like so stunning and natural looking on the cheeks. Hen Party was part of the Bye Bye Birdie collection, and it's just like the most gorgeous, natural, neutral peachy pink color. Ugh, I love it for every day. So when I just like want to keep it really easy, these two are like my go-tos. I also love my Nabla blush. This is in the shade Blossom. Look at how pretty this embossing is on this pan. It looks like a sweater. I think that's so cute. And this is a really pretty peachy pink color that just blends out like a dream on the skin. It's super natural and just gives your cheeks like the prettiest healthy flush. I love it so much. So this is another one I am definitely going to be keeping. And 100% for sure Sigma Corderosa. This is one of my favorite blushes ever. This is the blush I say is for people that don't like blush. It is just like the prettiest neutral pink. Like it's verging on nude, but it's still kind of pink. So it definitely looks like a blush and not like a bronzer. But it's just so foolproof and so easy, and it goes with basically every look. I just love it so much, and it's just a really, really smooth formula that just like blends out again like a dream on the skin. It's just so nice. So this is one forever and ever that I want to hold on to. But how about we get rid of something? Something right off the bat I know I want to get rid of is this right here. This has created a little bit of drama recently, and actually might have been the straw that broke the camel's back to finally get me to stop subscribing to BoxyCharm, because I was kind of on the fence anyway. But basically, this is the Ciate Marbled Light Blusher in Dusk. It's a really pretty color, don't get me wrong. However, this blush was made in China and is not the original formula of the blush that was sold on the Ciate website. So a lot of people were really miffed about that. And I actually do have another Ciate blush that I absolutely love that was made in Italy and is one of their like original products. This is a different blush though. It is the Glow 2 Illuminating Blush in the shade Matchmaker. So I know I definitely want to keep this because I love this. But I think I'm just going to declutter this guy. Like I don't really need another blush, and these two shades, I'll swatch them side by side. They're very similar, and I just kind of feel like this one is just a lesser quality than this blush here. Just made in a different place, made with talc as opposed to without talc. So there they are, swatched side by side. They're not the same shade, but I feel like on the cheeks, they're going to look fairly similar. The Glow 2 has a little bit more depth and luminosity to it, so I just like it better. So I'm going to keep this guy, and I'm just going to pass this guy along. Then I have a couple of Lorac blushes. The Lorac blush formula is gorgeous. It's so smooth and pigmented and beautiful. I don't know if I need to keep both of these though. So this one here is the shade Prism, which is probably the one I wear more often. It's a really beautiful peachy toned blush. This one, Aura, is a little bit deeper and a little bit more plummy. And I wore it the other day and I just felt like it was a little dark on me. It was a little bit difficult to work with. So I think I might keep Prism and pass along Aura to a friend, somebody that maybe has a slightly deeper complexion than me. Ooh, another absolute must keep, the Jouer Blush Bouquet in Adore. I adore this blush. It's stunning. Another really neutral, very kind of almost barely there type pink tone. So easy to work with, goes with everything. This is another very, very smooth formula. I just love it so much. I honestly mostly reach for the deeper shade, or I mix them together. I don't usually wear this lighter shade by itself, but it can be nice to kind of mix with this one to adjust it, or to help blend this one into the skin even more seamlessly. So yeah, 100% holding on to this. Then it starts to get a little bit more tricky. So this little mini here, I think I would be fine to part with. This is from Bare Minerals. It's their Bounce and Blur blush in the shade Mauve Sunrise. This is just like a little sample that I got. It's a really pretty color. I just don't love this formula. I find it to be kind of difficult to work with. It's a little, I don't know, like patchy. It's not a powder blush. It's kind of like between a powder and a cream, but I just find it to not be the easiest thing to blend, and it's a little shimmery, so not my favorite. I don't need to keep it. And then this guy, I feel like this Color Icon blush from Wet n Wild and this Focalure blush are probably gonna look really, really similar on the cheeks. Let me just like swatch them side by side. I'm kind of tempted to keep the Wet n Wild one just because it's a little bit easier to get your hands on, but I don't know. The Folklore one does swatch better. It's smoother. I feel like the Wet n Wild one has more like chunky glitter particles in it. I don't know. I think I probably could actually declutter this. It's not bad, but I don't know how often I'm going to reach for this. This actually is a really pretty blush. All right, I'll keep it. You're safe. I think I'm also going to keep this guy. Now, I very rarely get makeup as a gift from like my family, but I specifically asked for this for my birthday. My mom got it for me. This is the Too Faced Fruit Cocktail Blush Duo in the shade Like My Melons. So this, I feel like it's not my favorite, but it is really pretty, and I did wear it a fair amount in the summer. I usually mix these two shades together because this shade here on its own is a little like too dark for me to use as a highlight. So I kind of feel like when you mix this pink shade and this bronzy shade together, they create a really pretty like glowy blush. And it's not as intense on the cheeks as it swatches. Like you definitely can pick it up more lightly on a brush and just get a really tropical, pretty flush to your cheeks. So this one's definitely newer and it's fun and the packaging is absolutely adorable. So I'm gonna keep it. How about you, e.l.f. Primer Infused Blush? I feel like you're really nice. This is a slightly more mauve-y blush. Oh, dang, that feels good too. It's like so silky. It's kind of unreal. And I don't think I have something quite plummy like this. I think everything else I've kept so far has been a little bit more pinky peach. So I think we'll hold on to this. This is a really great affordable blush option to have on hand. Is it time for this Tarte blush? It might be time. I've had this for such a long time. It's kind of old at this point. It's a really beautiful color. This is the shade Captivating. Where should I swatch this? Maybe right here. I mean, it still feels good. It still swatches fine, but I also feel like I probably have some other blushes that are similar to this. And I don't know that I necessarily need to keep this guy. It is a really long-wearing formula. Like these Amazonian clay blushes from Tarte are pretty legit. But I don't know. This one I'm going to put aside as like a maybe. I think I'm going to declutter it, but I don't know for sure yet. I think I actually am going to get rid of this guy, which is pretty shocking because I used the heck out of this blush and I really liked it for a while. But I've just been noticing lately when I wear it, I feel like it fades off of my face really quickly. This is the Bare Minerals Gen Nude Blush in the shade Peachy Keen. And it says it has a 12-month shelf life. This has definitely been in my collection for way more than a year. It's pretty, but again, I feel like this and that Folklore blush are like near identical as far as color goes. And the Folklore one is way newer. So I think it's time. We had a good run. I think I should let this guy go. Oh, Becca. This is the Becca blush in the shade Tiger Lily. This one you can't get anymore. It's old as heck, but it's such a unique color. That's why I keep it around. Like, how often do you see a gorgeous orangey, glowy blush like this? You know, like, oh, it's just so pretty. So, I don't know. It seems to still be performing really nicely. It's a powder, whatever. I think I'm going to hold on to it. This guy here is fairly new to my collection. This is from Kiko. This is one of their Waterflower Magic blushes in the shade Brown Sugar. This is a really unique color too. It's kind of like got an ombre thing going on. And it's almost kind of between a blush and a bronzer. It also has the most gorgeous embossing in this pan. Oh, so pretty. Now this is deep on me, but it's really not that bad. And I feel like with the right brush, it can blend out on the cheeks really beautifully. And y'all know how I feel about those neutrally blushes. I really like them. So I think I'm going to keep this one too. This little mini Ofra blush here, super pretty, but I don't know that I'm going to reach for this all that much. This was from one of their holiday collections. It's the shade New Cheer. Yes. Really pretty. I feel like this would be a gorgeous eyeshadow actually. It's got like a really cool like a duochrome finish to it. Very shiny. I don't know. I haven't really like reached for it too much, and I don't know that I will, so I think maybe somebody else will get more use out of this. This freaking blush I have saved from so many declutters, it's ridiculous. At this point, I should just tell myself I'm gonna keep it, because every time I say I'm gonna get rid of it, I never actually do. This is one of the Too Faced Sweetheart blushes. Sweetheart's Perfect Flush Blush in the shade Peach Beach. Geez, that is like a tongue twister right there. This is a really, really beautiful shimmery blush though. I really do like it. It just makes your cheeks glow. And every time I do a declutter, I say I'm gonna get rid of it because the packaging is so dang bulky, but it's really pretty honestly too. And I do really like the product, so whatever, what the heck. This is just apparently a permanent part of my collection. All right, we're down to the last two blushes. So this one here is from Dose of Colors. This was a limited edition blush, part of their Mint For You collection. This is really pretty, a super, super soft, very pretty peachy pink color, a really soft formula too. I like this a lot. It's a little old, but it doesn't seem bad. It still feels nice. It's swatching beautifully, so maybe I'll keep it. And then finally, this guy here from Pretty Vulgar. This is one of their Make Them Blush blushes in the shade Hush Blush. Again, kind of a tongue twister. This is a really pretty color. It is very soft and very, very pigmented, kind of powdery. This one I feel like you almost have to be careful with to like not go overboard, because you can pick up so much on your brush. But it is a really pretty blush, and I feel like Pretty Vulgar doesn't get a whole ton of attention, which is why I've kind of liked to hold on to their products. Also, the packaging is super cute. I love the whole vintage thing they have going on. So I think I will hold on to this, especially like at some point, maybe I'll do like a full face of Pretty Vulgar or something like that, because at this point I have a lot of products from them, so I think I'll keep it. Okay, so blush wasn't so bad, but this is gonna be difficult. I love highlighter, and I know that so many of these look so very similar on the skin, and yet they are all so subtly unique and special. I just like having lots of them in my collection, and I counted, I have 19, so less than blush and still under 20, which I think is less than I had last year. I'm pretty sure last year I ended with more than 20 highlights after I decluttered, so I feel like I'm doing pretty good. However, I probably could be doing like slightly better than this. There are a few that I absolutely 100% am going to keep, like no questions asked. The first of which is the Jouer Molten Glow highlight, because this is one of my favorites of life. It was my favorite of 2019, and it's just, so beautiful. This just like melts into your skin like butter, and it's just super wet and reflective and beautiful. It's just one of the prettiest highlights I think I've ever seen. So yeah, 100% keeping this like forever and ever, especially because it's limited edition and you can't get it anymore. I also think I'm going to definitely keep this beaut here. This is the newest highlight to my collection, the Nabla Skin Glazing in the shade Amnesia. This is so beautiful. Again, another kind of very like wet reflective highlight that's not thick and metallic and just kind of like melts like butter into your skin. It's so pretty. There's just something really like gorgeous and natural about these highlights, and I love the way that they end up looking on the skin. It's just like so seamless. So definitely keeping that. I also just recently got this beaut right here, the Benefit Cookie highlight. This was gifted to me from Benefit, and I surprisingly have been really enjoying this. I'm not usually a fan of icy highlights because they oftentimes just look too frosty and weird on me, but this actually looks really nice on my skin. It's a really, really beautiful color. Even though it's light, it's not like too icy pink. It's got a gorgeous reflect to it. Like, look at that shine. Dang, that is something else. And it again is not too thick. It's very soft and buttery and just kind of like melts beautifully into your skin. So yeah, I definitely want to hold on to this guy too. Another favorite, the Persona Cali Glow highlight in Zuma. This one is intense. It's a really, really gorgeous kind of golden color, which, oh my god, in the summertime, this is so pretty. So reflective and shiny. Absolutely love it. So 100% keeping this. And of course, Lorac Gilded Lily. I mentioned this in my best of 2019 makeup video because this is just the most stunning rose gold highlight. Like, look at that. Just like butter. And it's, again, it got that like peachy pink undertone to it, but it's not icy. It doesn't look frosty and weird. It's just gorgeous. And the formula, again, is lovely. I don't know, guys. This is hard. I have so many beautiful highlights. I really don't want to like get rid of any of them. Mary Luminizer, another classic, beautiful highlight. Like one that I feel is, you know, in any collection, it can basically have a place. It's just so universally beautiful and pretty. It's funny, next to some of these other highlights, it doesn't look as blinding and reflective, but it's still really, really beautiful on the skin. It's just not quite as sheeny. It has like a different kind of reflect to it, which is just interesting, but I still really enjoy this, guys. So I don't want to get rid of Mary Lou. Can't get rid of Mary Lou. Okay, what can I get rid of? How about one of these Wet n Wild highlights? I don't need 3 of them. So I have 3 shades here. I have Precious Petals, Bloom Time, and Blossom Glow. And all 3 of these are honestly beautiful. This one is the oldest that I have, but I do really like Precious Petals. Like, this is a very, very pretty, again, kind of like peachy gold. Oh, beautiful. Now, this one, Blossom Glow, is probably like the least my speed because this is kind of a more almost iridescent kind of duochrome highlight and it's a little light. So I think I probably could declutter this one just because I don't think I'm probably going to reach for this, and I have some fairer skin friends that might like it better. But Bloom Time is really nice. This is more of a blush topper though because it has such a strong pink reflect to it. Let's see how that one compares to everything else. It is a little bit different. It is really pretty. I mean, man, for under like $5, that Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlight formula is like really, really nice, not gonna lie. So I don't know. I do really like both of these, and I think they are both really pretty. If anything, I might end up decluttering Precious Petals, if not just because I feel like this is very similar to the Lorac Gilded Lily, but Gilded Lily is even more beautiful. So I'm gonna keep Bloom Time. We'll think about this. Now this guy here I feel like is such an underrated highlight. This is the Milani Illuminating Instant Glow Powder. That's what it is. Strobe Light Instant Glow Powder, and this is in the shade 03 Sun Glow. This is a beautiful, beautiful formula. Super creamy, has such a gorgeous reflect to it. This one, again, kind of just like melts into the skin. It's not really like a metallic formula. It's a little bit more of a natural looking sheen, but it's really, really pretty for every day. So I really like this one. I don't want to get rid of it. I'm going to keep it. I also guess I should probably keep this Pretty Vulgar highlight too, especially since I just kept the blush saying that I wanted to do a full face of Pretty Vulgar. This is the shade Sparkling Sass. It's one of their Shimmering Swan highlights. This one is really pretty actually. It's more of a yellow gold highlight. Definitely like the most yellow gold I think of any of the highlights I have swatched so far. So yeah, I don't know. I think maybe we can keep him too. Okay, this right here, I think I can pass on to a friend. I don't even think this technically counts as a highlight. I think this is more of a blush. Yeah, I don't even know what this is doing in here. This is the shade Apricot in the Act. It's just like that little watermelon blush, but instead this is a mini and it's a different shade. It is really cute and pretty, but I think because I have the watermelon blush, I don't need to keep this. So I don't even know why this is in the highlight section, but we're gonna pass this along. We'll add that to the pile. All right, just a few more left. This guy here from ColourPop, I do think this is a really pretty highlight stick, but it's a little dark. I don't know. It is nice. Like, I feel like it gives the skin a nice sheen. This is the shade Magpie. It was a duo with the Hen Party blush that I'm like totally obsessed with. And I do usually wear them together. But like, as far as a cream highlight goes, like, this isn't my all-time favorite. I think it's pretty. It's just like very, very subtle. So knowing that it's a cream, maybe I can pass this along because I know it's not going to last forever and I don't wear cream highlights a ton. So I can be good. I can let this go. And for my one cream highlight, I surprisingly ended up actually really enjoying this product. This is the Tarte's Pro Glow liquid highlight. I got this in my BoxyCharm and I like did not expect to like it at all, especially this shade, which is Stunner. I thought it was going to be like way too pink and weird, but it actually isn't. When you blend it out on the skin, it's actually really quite nice. So I don't know, I kind of like this. It's a little like glittery looking now that I'm like looking at it in the light, but every time I've worn it on my skin, I feel like it's ended up looking pretty and giving, you know, gives my skin a nice sheen. So I don't know. For now, we'll hold on to it. I don't think I can part ways with my Pixi Glowy Gossamer Duo. This is the one in a Subtle Sunrise. This is so beautiful. This is probably, I think, my favorite thing that Pixi has like ever done. It is just beautiful. Such a lovely, dewy looking highlight. Again, just got like a gorgeous texture to it that just like melts into the skin and is super, super flattering. It's a little expensive for a drugstore product, but honestly, like it performs like something high end. All right, so I have two Ofra highlights here. I have All of the Lights, which is basically 4 different highlights in one, and then I have this Madison Miller highlight, which is beautiful, don't get me wrong. I kind of am leaning towards holding on to All of the Lights because this has 4 of Ofra's most popular highlights, although I'm also going to be showing you guys when we get to face palettes. I have another Ofra highlighting palette that has all these shades in it and then some. So maybe I pass this along and keep the highlighting palette, and then maybe I can keep this guy. Let me give this a swatch. The Ofra highlight formula is really beautiful, and I do love Madison. She is such a sweetheart. Oh, and that is a really pretty highlight. I feel like that is a little bit more pink and a little bit brighter than like everything else I swatched here. That's an unexpected turn of events. Yeah, I think I'll keep Madison's highlight, and I think I'm going to declutter this one. Okay, down to the last two. Becca Prosecco Pop. This is a beautiful highlight, and it's expensive as heck, and it's right now the only Becca highlight that I have, so I am inclined to keep this. It is a really, really beautiful highlight formula, and I do really enjoy wearing this in the summertime when I have a tan. I feel like it looks gorgeous. And then finally, Fenty Beauty, this little baby. This is a Hustler Baby. Yes. This again, a really nice kind of like duochrome, peachy, goldy pink. I do enjoy that one, and it's nice to travel with because it's itty bitty. If I don't feel like carrying like a big highlight with me, I can like throw this in a little makeup bag. So We'll keep you, Fenty. It's nice to have a Fenty product on hand. And I think I will, in fact, declutter Precious Petals. All right, I did it. Okay, moving on. And then last, but most certainly not least, face palettes and duos and anything else that didn't fit into the category of a single blush, bronzer, and highlight. I actually do really enjoy face palettes, and I try to use the ones that I have. But I know I'm definitely not getting enough use out of all of these, so I think I should most definitely pass some of them along. So right off the bat, I know I definitely want to keep my Too Faced Natural Face Palette because this is one of my absolute favorites. I've traveled with this so many times. All of these shades are absolutely stunning on the cheeks. You get 2 bronzers, 2 blushes, and 2 highlights. They're all fantastic. It smells like a vanilla coconut dream. It's just a gorgeous palette, and the packaging stunning. It's super luxe. It feels nice and weighty. This is one of my all-time favorites, so I definitely want to keep it. I also am not parting ways with this guy anytime soon because it's limited edition and you can't get it anymore. This is the Smashbox Ablaze Face Palette. I talked about this in my 2019 favorites. Oh, so good. This was like my summer jam. It makes you look so tropical and gorgeous. And again, you have 2 blushes, 2 highlights, 2 blushes, and 2 bronzers in here, and all of the pans in here are fantastic. Everything performs beautifully on the skin, so yeah, definitely 100% keeping this. However, this guy, this I'm less sure about. This is a really nice palette. Don't get me wrong. I enjoyed using this a bunch this spring and summer. This is the Cover FX Perfector Face Palette. So I think most of the products in here are beautiful. I didn't really get along well with this finishing powder. It's like weirdly glittery and kind of pink, and it just, didn't really suit my skin tone. It left behind these like little chunks of silver flaky glitter that I was not about. So I don't know. I don't find myself reaching for this as much because I reach for my Smashbox and Too Faced palettes more and my singles more. So even though I do think this is nice and I have gotten some use out of it, I feel like it probably would be smart to pass this along to a friend because I think somebody else could also enjoy it a lot. This guy too, I also feel a little bit weird about. This is from Folklore. It's the Sculpt Glow. The highlight in here is absolutely freaking stunning, but this contour shade is a little weird. It is truly a contour shade. It is very cool toned. It's pretty smooth and like, oh yeah, that highlight is really, really stunning. But knowing how much face stuff I have, I feel like I don't really need to keep this. Like, I think it's pretty. I think the packaging is gorgeous, but I don't think I'm going to reach for this enough to justify keeping it when somebody else could use it. Then I have two Juno & Co. face palettes. These are both beautiful, but I don't think I need to keep the Bombshell palette because this one is just a little too deep for me. It's gorgeous, don't get me wrong, but I feel like these blush shades especially are just like too dark on me, and I think someone with a deeper complexion in my life might be able to really enjoy this. Whereas the Cherry Bomb I'm not getting rid of because this I absolutely love. I've been wearing the heck out of this. This has been like my everyday palette because you have everything you need in one. This highlight is so cool. It's like the Fenty Diamond Bomb. It's very like ethereal. It's kind of just got like a bit of sheer sparkle that really catches the light in a beautiful way. So yeah, that I've been really enjoying wearing. Oh, look at that. So pretty. I have two of these Wander Beauty Trip for Two blush and bronzer duos. They are both really beautiful though. I use this one more, Bellini and Costa Ray. This is freaking stunning. I use this all the time because both of these shades are like super natural and everyday friendly. So this is something like I definitely am gonna keep. But the other one is also pretty. I just don't reach for it as much, but I don't know that I necessarily want to declutter it yet. This one I like use more in the summer when I'm a little bit more tan. And I don't really have an orchid shaded blush like there is in here anywhere else in my collection. So, I think I'm going to let myself keep these because I do really, really like this formula. But if I don't end up using the Daiquiri Tulum one this summer, then I think I'll pass that along. Ooh, how about this guy here? This is really pretty, but it's old as heck. And this is a cream duo. This is from Wander Beauty. This is the On The Glow Blush and Highlight Duo in the shade Bare and Nude Glow. I think I probably should just declutter this. Like the blush just feels a little clay-like, like it feels a little dried out. It's not as creamy as it once was, so I think it's time for me to pitch this guy. So remember how I said I had an Ophir palette? This is that Ophir palette I was talking about. This was part of their holiday collection. It's the Signature Glow palette, or maybe they had it before the holidays. I don't really remember. But either way, this is a little mini highlight palette that has all of Ophir's best-selling highlight shades. You have, let's see if I can remember this correctly, Star Island, Rodeo Drive, Bali, Pillow Talk, and Blissful. So I'm definitely going to hold on to this so that way I can basically use all of their shades. And you know, with highlight, you don't need a big pan. There's plenty in here. So I am definitely going to hold on to this baby. And honestly, I think I'm going to keep both of these guys also. These are split pan duos that Ophir launched for the holidays this year, and they're so nice. I enjoyed both of these so much. So there is the Hot Cocoa Highlight and Bronzer Duo, and then there was the Snuggle Up Blush and Highlight Duo, and both of these were stunning. How many of you guys remember this right here? The Becca Jaclyn Hill Champagne Duo, Champagne Split, whatever they are. This is Champagne Pop and Flower Child. This thing is so old, but I'm like never gonna get rid of it because I love this thing so much, and I don't have Champagne Pop in anything else in my collection, and it's just like one of the most beautiful highlights. And this blush too. I mean, honestly, can we please take a moment for these formulas? Just so gorgeous. Even after all these years, they're still swatching so beautifully. So yeah, I am not really inclined to get rid of this because I think it's a beautiful product. All right, guys, we're down to the last few. Alamar Cosmetics Colorete Blush Trio. This is beautiful. I have the shade Fairlight, and I really do enjoy this so much. I wear these a ton, so I definitely feel justified in holding on to this. This is the original Tarte Clay Play palette. I got this in my BoxyCharm, and I was really excited about it because so many people have raved about this and were so angry when they redid it and relaunched it and they made it not as good. So I kind of feel like I should hold on to this just for the sake of the fact that you can't really get it very easily anymore. And I know it's kind of like an old school cult classic product. And it does have a bunch of really nice matte shades in here. I don't have a ton of bronzers, so I don't really feel like it would be the worst thing ever. I'm not keeping any contouring palettes, so alright, I'll let this one slide. And then I have the Sigma Blush palette, and then these two guys from Carity. They're all really nice. This blush palette is beautiful. I do really like all of these shades that are in here. Corderosa I have in a single, as you guys saw, and that's one of my favorite blushes that they've done. I got rid of the contour palette, but I don't know. This is kind of nice to have. In case I'm doing makeup on other people, it's also nice to have some deeper shade options as well. I gotta think about this one because I kind of do want to keep it. And then the formula of these Carity blush bombs is actually really nice. I have this more orangey toned one, which is really, really pretty and fun. This is Coral Kaboom. And then I have Boom Berry, which is a little more berry purpley. Oh, both of these have kind of unique colors. That's why I held on to these as long. There are 4 of them total, and I decluttered the other 2 because I felt like I had more shade overlap with those. I don't know. Guys. I'm such a makeup hoarder. I think I want to keep these. I'm the worst. I'm sorry. All right. So here is the final collection of all my cheek products. Blush, bronzer, highlight, base palettes. When it's all together, I mean, well, it's a lot. But I feel like it doesn't look that bad. I don't know. I think I did all right. I definitely held on to more in this video than I probably did in some other videos, but cheek products I think are some of my all-time favorite in my collection, and I think I kept some really good stuff, so I'm not going to be too hard on myself. And then this is everything that I'm going to be passing along to friends and family. I have just one little product over there that I'm going to need to throw away because it's old, which is actually really good. This is like the least waste that I've created in a video so far this week, so I'm feeling pretty good. Even though my keep collection is definitely much larger than my declutter collection, I feel like percentage-wise we still made a nice little dent. Alright guys, so that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you enjoyed seeing this section of my makeup collection. If you did, I hope you will consider giving this video a thumbs up. I always appreciate your support so much. Make sure you come back tomorrow for another round of makeup collection and declutter goodness. We're gonna be going through my eyeshadow single collection tomorrow and all my glitters and my mascaras and my liners and all that kind of stuff. So if you're not already subscribed, make sure you click that button before you go so that way you don't miss out. And yeah, on that note, I'm gonna let you guys go, but I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and I will see you in tomorrow's video. Bye guys.